TAIT Towers started here in America in about 1979. It was a lighting company at first, and it kind of morphed into a staging company, but it grew exponentially.
TAIT Towers has always represented the best in the business.
What we're building either enables the show to happen or not. We thrive on complications.
25 years ago, musicians were making money selling records. And now they're making money selling seats. And that's why we're making stage sets.
Like any organization, we have our moments, we have our drama.
It's full on because there's a deadline that we're up against all the time. There's no showing up a day late.
In this business, you're only as good as your last show.
We're here in Carson, California, just outside of Los Angeles, for the Linkin Park Stadium show. Not only is this a live show for the fans in the stadium, but it's a live broadcast on AXS TV, which just adds to the excitement and pressure for the band.
We are going to be playing in our hometown, Los Angeles, at the Home Depot Center.
That is correct.
And we're going to be broadcasting it live on AXS TV.
We're excited about the show. If you're there, it's going to be awesome. If you're not there, you can still watch it on AXS TV.
Camera one, I'm seeing black right now. Camera one, do you have anything up? Can you give me a shot? Great. Yeah. So now we should have, yeah. Now are you happy?
Tower cam's going up there, right?
Are you on that?
It should be a half hour before we're done with that one, right?
Today we're doing Incubus and Linkin Park Live. We have kind of a dance going on with production. As they're loading in, we're loading in, and we need certain things that they have to build, or the stage has to get built. So getting our cameras in isn't always just throw the cameras on the field. We're kind of deeply tied to the house and to the band and everything else as far as that goes.
Because we're in a stadium setting, you have a stadium roof / base stage that's been put here a few days ago.
We start building the stage about 5 days out, and that's a 3 to 4 day process. 30 to 40 guys, 80-ton crane, 8 to 10 forklifts. It's about 15 semis worth of equipment.
What'll happen this morning is the riggers will show up. They'll start hanging motor points in the ceiling. The lighting guys and the audio guys will roll in their trussing with their lights and their sound. And then probably one of the last things to go in will be the TAIT gear, all the decking, everything on the ground. They'll start basically right now, 8 a.m. And by 1 o'clock we should have a full show ready to go. They'll just start shoving carts off the trucks into the loading docks. There'll be guys directing traffic to tell them which cart goes where. The show crew will be directing the locals, like a big dance. With any load-in, you're always relying on your local crew. They're always an A-team, but you have guys that have never seen the gear before. So there's a little bit of a learning curve with any local crew in the morning.
When Linkin Park's production crew arrives, there's a big push. All of their gear comes in one foul swoop, where we hang the actual show elements, the lighting, the audio, the additional video, and that all goes up the morning of the event in time for a 5 o'clock doors and a 6:30 show.
TAIT Towers? I don't know that I've heard of this guy.
Jim Digby is the production manager, so he'll be the one running the show here today. He'll be dictating who does what and when.
The job of production manager varies from tour to tour. The role is production manager, partial on-site tour manager, extension of management, troubleshooter, and forward logistics, right? We facilitate getting their show right every night. All of the equipment that goes along with it, the lights, the sound, the trucks, the buses, the video, the crew, the catering, all of that falls under the guise of the production manager.
I'm sure the pressure's on for him a little bit more to be ready for the live TV shoot, because of course there's going to need to be some camera time and some other tests and setup that they aren't normally used to doing.
Today, the challenges specifically are mostly about time and schedule. Most of the time, you're coming into either a festival show or a live shoot. You've got a day of pre-production, and then you come in and do the show the next day. We're doing this all in a single day, which means like we're talking about camera movement decisions, anything like that needs to be made on the fly, and everybody has to react really quickly to be able to get it done in time, because I think we are now maybe 6 hours from doors. And I can probably look over, I'm not going to look over my shoulder right now, but I can tell you without looking, there's at least 4 things that are going to take a couple hours to do that need to get done before we open the door and let the kids in. So as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to get down and try to create a little hustle over here.
So, we gonna talk shop?
Yeah, get some of the boys in here so you can sort that out.
Sick.
Justin's at Barbra Streisand.
Perfect.
No, he's not. He's coming in the office today. I talked to him last night.
Oh, you're right. And he's here to deal with...
See, I can know more about what the fuck's going on around here by not being here than...
No, but he was
ADD, who's...
Larry Morley.
Well, you don't know. You never come here.
Know where your employees are.
This is not for public consumption, but...
My name is Justin McDaniel, and I am a project manager. The original design had these flying video panels that actually played in front of each of the artists during the show, and more video around the face of the stage. It was a heavier video show at that point. For one reason or another, streamlining the design, bringing it down, we ended up with that X design, which is pretty visually interesting, and added some LED elements to it. Still have a huge video screen in the back, and then they were interested still in using some kind of unique element.
How you doing, man?
Hi, Justin. You got time for me today, buddy?
Yeah, man.
Where we are with the shutter boxes is the lighting element behind them is not impactful enough. It's working, it's just not great enough. So that's why they evolution to the V18. On the front side of that, the operation of the shutter itself is inconsistent in a way that it can't be cued. It needs lots of time between cues, and you can have a one-shot deal, but to syncopate the shutters with the music is not practical at this point with the way they
So
work.
now, that's hence the evolution to let's go put a linear actuator on it and be a DMX control.
So if the linear actuator can be DMX controlled and can be infinite in its motion, speed, position, all the rest, then we can do cool things like fanning the blades one after the other in each shutter box. We can fan them across the thing. We can have a guy walking on the video screen, kind of walking through the set in video.
Well, but you're envisioning, just so we're clear, you're envisioning one shutter box having variable speed.
Yeah, it'll
control.
still be all the blades in the single boxes will still be linked, but you'll have completely variable positioning. And
what's the next evolution to making each blade individually addressable?
They didn't just come to us with a design and say, this is what we want to build. They came to us with some concepts and said, help us design a set. With our development team, guys like Adam and Aaron, they really helped drive the design of this show. And a lot of the ideas for how this thing is shaped and what it looks like came from us, alongside Jim Digby. We have a lot of fun with that because, it's great to build people's dreams, but it's even better to help them realize those dreams.
Part of the expression of the music is in moving across the stage fast. And what we've tried to do with the TAIT set and the help of those guys at TAIT is build them a multi-dimensional stage set that allows any band member to go up a ramp and stop halfway on that ramp or go all the way up the ramp. You can have all 4 guys on the top of the bunker. You can have one guy in the... We've given them a playground, essentially. And it's helped to energize them on stage, as has the pyro.
Ouch!
The shutter units that we built, there's 4 of them. The LED fixtures provided by the lighting company are mounted inside of them, so we took care of mounting them so that they can live in there while they transport and that they're safely mounted. What they do is they, one side of the shutter is black and one side of the shutter is aluminum color, silver, so they flip into 3 positions during the show. They're actually actuated by air. There's pneumatic cylinders in there, but they're fired by the lighting board through DMX, so that way they don't have to have another person controlling them, and they're fired with lighting cues. There's a ton of LED power in these, so they can blast the audience, but you can
reveal it in a different way. And because they're LED fixtures, you've got different colors and the different positions. And when the shutters are showing their black side, they look totally different than when they're showing the silver side. And then when they're at the halfway point, it's just a cool effect to blow light through. It probably took us a solid week to build these. The reality is it probably took us 5 days to prototype one of them, and we did it 3 or 4 times and got that one 100%. And the remaining few days, we built the other 3 behind it. These were a last-minute item in the shop, and they were the limiting factor of the loadout at one point because they were so complex.
They think you ordered up like a cheeseburger, and it's not exactly how it works. When you roam around here and you see what it takes to build something, it's pretty difficult.
Companies that would go out and build a machine like this that aren't entertainment companies would take 2 years to do it. You know, we did it in a month. We always work on a tight timeline here, so that's the challenge, right? You get down to it and it's not working as sweet as you want it to work. The crunch at the end is always the troubleshooting and really getting it really nice.
Can we go right there where you guys are at?
We're 3.5 hours into it. Well, 2.5 hours into it because of the late start, but I think we're doing all right.
They've got most of the motors in the air, so most of the pre-rig is complete. They're starting to hang lighting trusses and get things off the ground and float into the air. It would appear they're on track, but you never really know.
Pretty soon we'll layer in the TAIT staging elements, and then we'll be off to the races.
Can't you see I'm on TV right now? He and I did my first tour together, Genesis. Part of the real joy of this job is that I haven't seen him in probably 15 years. And we toured together, and that's kind of, you know, it's like going to battle together in a sense, right? Because I have this job, I can have those kinds of, we all can have those kinds of connections with people that are random friends, that are still, it's as if, you know, we never separated kind of thing. When you've got 2 children at home, it's also a difficult part of this job. When I'm home with them 100% of the time, which is something a 9-to-5 dad doesn't get.
It's tragic to personal lives. Yeah, and the whole business is, though. I mean, whether it's internally here at TAIT Towers or the people who are on the road who put these things together, it's a passion and it's a commitment, and it's pretty hard to maintain a status quo life at home and be involved in this business. I suppose we have some employees who do it. They put their 8 hours in and they go home, but I don't think that's where the passion of this business comes from. There's people here that are dedicated to making the best product, and will stop at nothing until that product is out and working and functioning, and we're sitting around going, holy shit, is that cool? And tragic.
We're 3.5 hours into it. Well, 2.5 hours into it because of the late start, but I think we're doing all right.
They've got a couple automated elements which, you know, with anything that moves could always present a problem as it's rattled around the country in the back of a truck. No, I don't anticipate any issues today. Digby is a really big fan of safety and kind of bringing strict safety laws to our industry.
What's happening in the industry is everybody's trying to build something different all the time. That's the nature of what we do. Otherwise, it would be boring to come see a show if every show looked alike. There's no overview of the standards required to say, well, that piece of equipment's safe to fly in the air. Pretty much you can put anything you want up in the air and nobody's really going to check you for it at the moment. Or you can do it the right way and follow the known safety practices, which are not yet all in one place in one document. So that's one of the pushes of the Event Safety Alliance, is to get all this existing information into one place, get the industry as a peer review to agree on all of that information and say, yeah, you know, this doesn't hurt me, but it is a good idea to have these best practices in paper, and I can refer back to it and say, well, I'm rigging, you know, 2,000 pounds of moving truss overhead, and I should have X safety mechanisms in place.
My name is Sam Harrington, and I'm a carpenter.
Sammy's been around a long time. He tries to maintain a Zen place in his life every day.
I'm I still got all the hair on the back of my head.
But he finds, he's short fused sometimes.
Once lights is up and out of the way and sound is off to either side, I get the whole stage to myself.
From the moment the TAIT set carts roll in to the time we're built should not be more than 2 hours.
It's kind of an organized little ballet process. It gets a little Tetris-y sometimes.
When they start to go put the set elements together, we just, I'll just be making sure that things are going together nicely. They're not having to use big sledgehammers, that things are locking together properly. They're not having to put a bunch of unnecessary force or labor into putting the gear together. We want it to be as simple as possible.
It snaps together so fast and so simply. And the best thing about TAIT is I don't have to carry around 3 different bags full of nuts and bolts and wrenches and stuff. I have a coffin keeper. That's it. And then the bunker itself is the main tech area.
This is the brains of the operation in the underworld, of the bunker.
This is the stage right bunker world, as we call it. I take care of Brad Delson, so he's my main focus with Linkin Park. Mike Shinoda's guitar tech, Jeremy's over here. Phoenix's bass tech is down on the end.
He smashes this every show. I've been putting it back together for about 5 years. It's always worked, except for last night. Didn't work. So I handed him this one. So then he smashed this one and broke it in half. So now I'm fixing this one. You can see it's completely broken in half.
But basically, this is my command central. I do all the preamp switchings for the rig here for Brad. All of his guitars. If you're a Linkin Park fan, this is probably the most famous guitar that we have. The infamous Red Soldier. It's been with us since 2001. This main guitar. I've got 2 other copies of it, but it's not the same.
I think everybody loves it in there. Well, maybe Sean doesn't love it because he's really tall.
I bump into these a lot, the Dragon Heads. You know what a Dragon Head is, right? They're all down the bunker, so I've probably hit every one of these at some point during the course of this tour.
All the LED edging is in place, all the shutter boxes are in place and have been tested and working. The flooring is holding up really well. Really happy to see that. Now it's up to the backline guys and the lighting guys to start laying out all their gear and stuffing it and ready for showtime. I'd love to stay for the show, but I got a flight to catch. I'm going to Louisiana. See ya.
That's the nature of our business, I think. It doesn't matter where the shows are. We have to get to the shows. We have to get to the meetings. I mean, I've probably flown, I don't know, 160,000 miles this year, which might not mean anything to somebody that doesn't travel, but if you think that between here and Los Angeles it's 3,000 miles, that's a lot of miles. And we have an operation in London now, and we have an operation in Belgium, and we're trying to penetrate the European market, and you have to be there, and you have to be at your shows, and you have to represent your company, and it means commuting to Europe. I'm all for it. I don't care. It's good to see culture.
Now, live shows add a little bit of pressure, but we do a live show every night, really, whether it's for TV or not. And if something doesn't go exactly as planned, take a breath, move forward. It's like playing golf. Every shot's a chance of recovery.
We're going to be late. Yep, because we've added some additional PA that we should have added days ago. We made the call this morning for it. It should be arriving any minute now. And then we've got a line check the TV truck. We've got a line check Gus. We've got a line check the Incubus for TV. Line check Gus. Doors are supposed to be at 5. We're going to be late.
We're gonna go in 36 seconds, okay?
5, take
stand by red, stand by audio. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
myself stepping back towards the truck a little bit as the minutes go by, but no, we're ready. I just jinxed the shit out of it. I want to say that right now.
Do we have a triax on 9 yet? 9 and triax.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
House lights, house lights.
Guys, we're going right into the show, right?
There's a lot of bang for your buck out there on that stage, for sure.
That's our lead singer. Ready to take 2.
We're building it to break it back down. We're building it to burn it down. We can't wait to burn it to the ground. Yes, they'll be hot.
It's clear that the band is at the peak of their performance right now, and it's also our belief that part of what contributes to that is they've got a really dynamic new show, and they're going on stage. They've got lots of room to play around on stage because of the TAIT set. We've added the pyro elements to it, and I think all of these things are contributing factors to their energy level. I think they're having a really good time, and I think that they're at the beginning of the next rise, and next, hopefully, meteoric rise.
More fire.
And it's a massive undertaking, you know. It took every minute of all day today to get it built. It's going to take a couple hours to get it down, and then the decompression begins into a day off. It's roadie Friday night.
Stay at the bottom of the ramp, help people get stuff down, bring it up to the truck up here. I'll separate as it comes, all right?
Disconnect that.
All right, I've got video hands coming to you guys. Where do you want them?
That's going right into this cart that says ramp leg, the middle one. Let's put it on the right side of the cart.
Coming through, guys. Gonna go over to truck number 9.
$5,800 bottle. Go. And tonight's show was great. Thank you, Los Angeles.
I am fortunate enough to be involved in the very first phone call of a project. I see the cocktail napkin, I see the cartoon, I see it all happening, and I am intimately involved in making it happen and trying to find out what resources we have, whether it be internally or externally. How can we bring this to fruition within a budget, within a time? And then when you get to stand there and see 20,000 people freaking out, it's a pretty good buzz.